Hey everybody, weekly update or bi-weekly update from the WABUA. Your president Nick DeAndrea here. Just a quick couple of updates. Still have no idea what the MIAA is doing. They're meeting again tomorrow. They're planning on having a season. I told you guys that later this week. A lot of chatter from ADs and news sources that it's just not going to happen. No official word yet. I just think now they're starting to feel the pressure. They thought the pressure from the coaches and parents were bad. Now they're getting pressure from health officials and school officials saying, what are you doing? Pro sports teams are canceling seasons and we can't come together and do that. So more on that. We're going to prepare as if we're going May 11th. That's the right now the potential for the first scheduled game. The tournament committee basically said we can't get a tournament in. So now it's about a what if the Super 8 is done. They are not having a Super 8 this year. So that's going to aggravate a bunch of people. So more on that. April 27th meeting is, again, like I said the other night, is postponed. I'm still debating on if we are doing a live conference call / video call or not, or just one of these quick updates like that. Haven't really decided that. The e-board is meeting this week. No definitive date on that schedule yet. I'm going to be scheduling that today with them. We're going to discuss a few topics that I've received questions on, so I want to discuss it with them before we announce any plans or anything on that. So that's pretty much the update. Summer baseball, no news yet. No news yet. As president of the PNJ, we're planning on a full season. However, there's rules that we are have to adhere to. Babe Ruth International has basically said, don't have a season and just get ready for tournaments. If I didn't think it was such a money grab, I'd say okay, but no, I'm not doing that. If we're gonna have some sort of season if it allows us. The other pieces to that are fields, stay-at-home orders, all that. We are going to fall within regulations, and when it's safe and we are allowed to do so, we will have some sort of season. I meet with their coaches tomorrow night. I have a meeting with them and discussing the plans. What our options are with that. Because the MIA decision affects it, these keep pushing out these stay-at-home orders affects that. City parks aren't being permitted, so there's that piece of that too. And to be quite honest, some umpires don't feel comfortable getting behind the plate with players and all that, and deservedly so. So more to come on that. American Legion and Stan Musial know nothing. I know that AAU has suspended operations until about the middle of May as well. So I've been in contact with the AAU programs that I deal with, and just saying that, guys, when we get out there, they're gonna come fast and furious. Okay, so I know I sound like a broken record. Update arbiter. I know there hasn't been a lot of activity. I used to go into it every day. Now I'm going in it once a week, but I'm still going into it. Go in, check it out, because once myself, Steve, and Richie get the green light, they're gonna come at you at 100 miles an hour. So be cautious of that, and we're not gonna wait around. If you sit on a game for more than 24 hours, it's coming out and you'll be blocked and you won't be able to get any more games out of the arbiter system. So with that, we're going to be doing lineup card management and case by case play play case of the day. I got about 6 or 7 of them for you. So enjoy this video and stay safe, everybody. Okay, everybody. We are April 5th, 6th, whatever we're going to call this. This is for our Monday meeting. That was April 6th. So what I want to go over right now is I want to go over lineup cards and lineup card maintenance. You know, with the new rules this year, we're going to have to keep track of this. You know, things to kind of consider. So I have a makeshift lineup card here, and you should be getting these from every coach on there. So what you need to do, okay? First thing you want to do is when you get them, you take them at the ground rules at your plate meeting. You take the home teams, and then you take the visiting team. Okay? You start with the home team, and you count the lineup. Okay? You count the lineup. Here, this is a 10-man lineup. Okay? So that means what? It means there's a DH in here somewhere. Okay? So you say, okay, we have a 10-man lineup. Make sure the numbers are in there. There's no duplicate numbers. There's no duplicate names. If there's duplicate names, differentiate. Ask if they're brothers, cousins, whatever, or just 2 kids named Johnson. Okay? So, so do that. Positions. Make sure all the positions are accounted for, including the DH. Okay? When you do see a DH, the first thing you say is, I have a DH in the 4-hole. Circle it. Okay? Once you circle it, now you know where it is. Okay? Your pitcher is Green. No, sorry. Your pitcher is Rogers. Okay? Here. Okay? And you're DHing for the right fielder. Okay? One thing I like to do here is I always like to ask, what's the catcher's first name? If you forget it, it's no big deal when you do your timing pitches. If he hasn't introduced himself to you already, just tell him. Just say, hey, I'm Nick, or whatever, whoever you are, and you know, and he'll give you his name. And then you might want to jot it down right before the inning starts, and you know, and put that in there. Okay, so that way, you know, you can talk to him. One thing is, if you don't have it already, always get the manager's name. Okay, the manager's name is Joe. Okay, call the catcher and the manager by their first name throughout the game. Okay, so that's what you want to do there. So, things you want to keep up as we go through this is you want to make sure all the substitutions are on the card. Okay, if they're not on the card, make sure you get them on the card, because managing this is going to be a pain if they're not on there. Okay, they can just bring in anybody. Okay, so things to consider on that. Things you need to keep track of. You're keeping track of substitutions, re-entries, courtesy runners. If you have a separate card, trips, you know, offensive and defensive conferences. So things like that. So when you're putting in a substitution, they announce themselves. Okay, so they say, okay, Howell, number 10, comes in and bats for Alexander, the first baseman. Okay, so what you do here is you put in Howell. Is he going to go into the position there? And put in what inning he went in. Okay, so you can know when it happened. Okay? And what I like to do is do a line through the batter. Okay? So now we know we're here on this. Okay? And you have his number here. You can mark it or not. Doesn't really matter. Okay? And then, if Alexander re-enters, you put him back in. He goes back in the 3, and he came back in the 6th inning. And then you would cross out here. Okay? So now, as things go through the season or the game, courtesy runners. So as we start doing courtesy runners, there's only two people we can courtesy run for, right? This guy and this guy. Okay? So now, they either tell you at the plate meeting or they tell you when it happens that we have a courtesy runner. Okay? So if they say, if Rogers here gets a hit, he's at second base, and Baker goes out and the coach says, I have a courtesy runner for my pitcher, put a P next to his name. Okay? Do not put it here for the sole purposes that he's not a substitution. Okay? He is a courtesy runner for the pitcher. And you put a P there, and then if someone comes in for the catcher, you put a C. Guys, you know who the catcher is, you know who the pitcher is. So when they get on the field or they get on base, just be mindful and be alert for that. If you see a runner go out, don't mark it down as a substitution. If no one says anything, ask. Okay, everyone's still learning this, so ask. Hey, coach. Hey, Joe. Is that a courtesy runner going in for the pitcher? He'll say yes or no. If he says it's a pinch runner, guess what? Baker now goes in here, and Rogers will have to re-enter to go back into the game. Okay? So those are the things you want to handle when you're dealing with the lineup card. Lineup cards get messy. All right, so make sure it's organized. One thing I like to do is I have a bigger book, and it has metal magnets at the top of the thing, and so basically I put it in based on where they are in the dugout. So if I'm holding it like this, whoever's on this side gets this lineup card. Whoever's on this side gets on that lineup card. It doesn't make it any easier, but it at least keeps my mind where I know where to go with it. And then when you look at it, just make sure you're writing it on the right team. Okay? And then here are all your substitutions, all that. Now when it comes to conferences, the one thing you want to do is you want to alert the coach when the conference is over. Hey, coach, that's your first one. Coach, that's your second one. Coach, that's your third one. Okay? And mark it down so you don't confuse yourself. Okay? And remember, pitching change is not a charged conference. So now, speaking of a pitching change, coach comes in, he goes out, he takes the pitcher out. We'll just use Baker there because he's already there. You put him in. You guys don't really deal with this. We do at the college level. Is we point to the scorekeeper or the announcer, and we put it in, and then they announce it. So make sure you're watching that as well for the cards as well. And you put it in. You say what inning he was in. He came in the fourth inning. Oops, wrong one. He came in the fourth inning, and he went in to pitch. Okay? Now, if Rogers is the pitcher and they bring in Abel to pitch, you might want to just jot down in an inning that you just make a note here as he went to one, and if you can keep track of all that, just so you know who's been pitching, how long and what. Not important. And remember, guys, don't get trapped into the pitch counts. Okay? Do not get trapped. We're not dealing with it. It's not our issue. The only thing we are saying is just making sure that they are checking every 2 innings. Do it every inning. Hey, you guys all set on pitch counts. Once you start commenting or even remotely stating the rule of a pitching count, they got you, because they will come and get clarification from you. To say, not our deal, not our bag, we're not dealing with it. You guys need to know that. If they can't figure it out, site administrator deals with it. Do not get trapped into the pitching count rule. because you will find yourself in a world of trouble. Okay? Hey guys, what's happening? We're going to be doing the um, referee case play of the day. And I don't know if a lot of you guys subscribe to that. Referee Magazine sends out a bunch of emails. You don't have to subscribe to the magazine to get these emails. They're called case plays of the day. They come around 4 o'clock in the afternoon every day. So I've been collecting them, kind of using them so we can kind of get some scenarios out based on your feedback. We're like a lot more scenarios. So I got this past week's scenarios. There's about 7 of them here, real quick. Not going to dive too deep into them. We'll utilize those once we're back in meeting mode. But yeah, so check it out. I'm gonna go over them once a week with you guys, and it'll be brief. Okay, so they're not very well written, so if you get confused, I get it. And so if something doesn't make sense, it's because I'm just reading it right from what they said. But the overall premise makes sense. So, all right, first play. With the bases loaded, B1 hits a looping fly ball. F7 makes a spectacular catch for the first out. He fires the ball to second for out number 2 on R2, who failed to retouch. The triple play is completed when they fire to first for the third out on R1, who failed to tag up. R3 scored before the out at first, but he never retouched his original base. Excuse me. What do we have? Well, ruling on this, even though R3 did not properly retouch, his run counts since the defensive team did not appeal. That is a time play. Even though the inning has ended, the defense may appeal R3 before they leave the field. That fourth out would cancel the run. So this is the infamous fourth out rule that if you've taken the class, you've gone over. If the defense gains a third out during the play and the batter runner has not reached first at the time of the out, there can be a fourth out appeal. So for Federation rules, that would be covered under 8-26I. NCAA rule is 8-6B7, and the OBR is 509C, comment 4. Okay, second play. With 1 out, R3 stealing home, B1 steps out of the batter's box and fouls off the pitch. Okay, so the batter does have the right to swing at the pitch and hit it when he's in the batter's box, but he has to do it illegally. So if he stepped out of the batter's box, he hits it illegally. So he's out, runner goes back to third. That's Federation Rule 732, NCAA Rule 710A, Pro Rule 603A1. Third play. B1 hits a pop-up near the offensive team's dugout. F3 goes down into the dugout to make the catch. However, a disgusted player slaps the ball out of his glove. Okay, so we understand what happened here, and this is a classic overthink if we're not understanding. He went into the dugout to catch the ball, guys. He's out of play, so the catch doesn't count regardless. He gets tackled in there. It doesn't really matter. So that's a foul ball. A fielder cannot catch the ball with both feet in a dead ball area. The Unsporting Act, though, does not affect the play, but it can be addressed separately. So, like I said, if you got tackled in there, it doesn't matter. It's still a foul ball, but you can handle that with disciplinary measures.
The rule on that is Federation 291 and NCAA 61D1, and then whatever the catch definition is in the pro rules. With a runner on third base, B1 flies to left field. R3 tags, but leaves before the ball is touched by F8 and scores. Okay, so he hit it to left. Okay, the center fielder catches the ball and he scores. After the first pitch to B2, the defensive team appeals the illegal tag up. The run counts. No appeal can be upheld after a pitch has been made. Okay? You can do it dead, you can do it live, but once the pitch has been made, it is all done. Federation Rule 824, and it's covered under the penalty. NCAA Rule 711A, Pro Rule 603B3. With a runner on second, B1 hits a ground ball to F6, the shortstop. B1 overruns first as F6 throw deflects off F3. B1 feints to second and then trips and falls. His coach helps him up as R2 attempts to score. F3 retrieves the ball and fires home in time for a putout on R2. That is a crazy play. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. So the ruling on that is R2 is out as the ball remains live and in play. B1 is also out on the coach's interference. You got a double play there. Federation Rule 322, 842S. NCAA rule is 3-3E, 8-5F, and the pro rule is 6.01A8. All right, we got two more guys. With runners on first and second and no outs, S1 has entered to relieve, reaching a count of 3-0 on the first batter. The coach, frustrated with S1's performance, brings S2 into pitch, even though S1 has not completed pitching to one batter. No one spots the error, and S2 pitches wild. The runners advance. The umpire wakes up and realizes S2 is an improper pitcher. You can't do anything at that point. So S2 became an official pitcher when he threw that first pitch. Play continues. Kind of like batting out of order. Once the pitch comes in, he's your legal pitcher. They need to get that before it happens. Federation Rule 312, NCAA 5.5G2, Pro Rule is 5.10H. Last one. With a runner on first, B1 hits a single and R2 scores. The defense announces it will appeal that R2 missed third. With a live ball, the pitcher prepares to make his appeal when B1, who has stopped at first, breaks for second. F1's throw is A, in time to retire B1, or B, not in time. So this is the classic missed base and the new rules for Federation. In Federation, a dead ball appeal should be made. But if a live ball appeal is made, the appeal opportunity is not lost in either A or B. In NCAA, the appeal also is not lost in either A or B, but in the pro rule, it is lost in both A and B. It's that if the offense initiates a play to kind of get away from it, they don't lose their chance at an appeal. So, rules, Federation 8-2-6. NCAA rule is 8-6B4, and Pro is 5.09C. So that's it for those guys. I hope you enjoyed the videos today. Stay safe. Get ready. Like I said, to start this video out, we're preparing you because we haven't been told otherwise. And like I said, it'll come fast and furious when it does. So be ready for that. Any questions on today's topics? Like I said, rules questions, mailbag at wabua.com. Any board memberships, you can contact anybody in the board, not just me. You can contact the vice president, secretary, treasurer, any of the e-board members, and we'd be happy to answer your questions. All right, so guys, stay safe. Lady, stay safe, and I'll be talking to you soon. I will give updates as we get them. Thanks, guys.